Hi everybody. In this video, let us see what are the duties of an auditor in relation to internal check. In the previous videos, we were studying about internal check, its objectives, advantages and limitations. So let us see what are the duties done by an auditor with regard to internal check system. And first duty done by him is the examination. First of all, an auditor should satisfy himself about the working of proper internal control system. Only then he can rely upon test checking and some other methods. Even though in some companies if there are internal control systems, it may not be properly working. So the auditor, first of all, he should satisfy himself that the internal control system is working very properly. And the next duty of an auditor is in case of satisfactory system. If the auditor is satisfied about the effectiveness of internal control, then he should check the efficiency and its existence by checking various items from different places. If the auditor is not satisfied, if he feels that internal control system is not satisfactory, then he should check those accounts where errors are likely to exist. So these are the two things he have to do in case of internal check. If it is satisfactory, he should check the efficiency and the existence of various items from different place. If he is unsatisfied, then he should check those accounts where errors are more likely to exist. And another one thing an auditor should do is if some sections are inadequate, if he feels that some sections are inadequate, if the overall system is satisfactory but certain sections of the system appears to be inadequate, then he should inform the client about the dangers. And the auditor should also give some suggestions that how weakness can be removed if he is asked about it by the client. So these are some of the things that an auditor should do in regard to internal check system. First is he should satisfy himself that the internal control system is working properly. If he is satisfied, then he should check the efficiency. If he is not satisfied, then he should check those accounts where errors are likely to exist. If some sections are inadequate in internal control system, then he should inform the client about the dangers. And he can also give some suggestions regarding the weakness if he is asked about it. Then let us see how the internal check system works. Internal check system in case of receipt, internal check system in case of payments, and internal check system in case of sales. Let us see in detail. Internal check system in relation to receipts of cash. Receipt of a cash must be handled by a separate clerk, and the name of that clerk is known as the cashier. Bank reconciliation statements should be prepared by the cashier to reconcile bank and the cash balance. All debtors or customers requested to make payments by crossed check. Automatic bills or cash register are useful for checking receipts. The counterfoils of all the receipts issued should be properly maintained. So these are the things that should be done in relation to the receipts of cash. Cash matters should be dealt by the cashier. Bank reconciliation statements should be prepared. And debtors and customers should make payments by crossed check. Automatic bill systems and cash registers should be made. Counterfoil should be maintained properly. And next is in relation to payments of cash. All cash receipts or all cash payments should be made by checks. Petty cash payment should be handled by the petty cashier. Names, numbers, and the status of persons authorized to sign checks must be decided. Confirmation of accounts with creditors should be made to maintain up-to-date records. Proper system must be adopted to control the supply and issue of checks. These are the things that should be considered in relation to payment of cash. All payments should be made in checks. Petty cash should be maintained by the petty cashier. Name, number, and status of person authorized to sign checks should be decided before itself. Confirmation of accounts with the creditor should be made up to date. Then proper system must be adopted to control the supply and issue of checks. And next is in relation to cash sales. Separate salesmen should be appointed to carry out the sales at different counters. The salesman should prepare sales invoice into 4 copies. The accountant must make the entries in cash book. The salesman should prepare a summary showing the sales. Copies of sales summary sheet must be made to the officer in charge of the trading house. So these are the things which should be taken into care in relation to cash sales. Separate salesmen should be appointed in different counters. Salesmen should prepare sales invoice into 4 copies. Accountants must make the entries in the cash book. Salesmen should prepare separate summary, and copies of all sales summaries should be handed over to the officer in charge. So these are the different things in relation to cash sales. So that's all about this video. In this video, we were studying about the different duties of an auditor in relation to internal check, and we were discussing about internal check regards with receipts, payments and sales. So that's all about this video. Thank you all for listening to me.